Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, in deck number 713. Boy, it's hard. It's the second day in a row I've done that. We're going to talk about Osgir, the Reconstructor. Now, 4 mana Boros. We're playing with artifacts. It's kind of different, but it's kind of the same. But kind of not. Anyway, 4/4 Vigilant, so you can still attack and still do his abilities. But now this first one does not require tapping. So a mana and sacking an artifact, target creature gets +2 till end of turn. So that is beautiful. You can do that repeatedly. And then here is the beautiful part. That artifact that you sacked, yeah, you can spend X and tap to exile that artifact from your yard, mana value X, to make 2 tokens that are copies of it. Now it's sorcery speed. You can only do it during your main phase when the stack is empty, but we get to make copies of artifacts in our graveyard. That's what's up right there. So what are we going to be making copies of? Well, first off, this is kind of a mana intensive deck, so we have a lot of mana rocks, and I mean a bunch. But keep in mind, when we look at things like the Commander Sphere, it's probably in here to draw the card because we can sack it to draw the card, use our commander to make 2 copies of it. Now we have 2 Commander Spheres. That's 2 more cards. Beautiful. So the Cultivator's Caravan, it taps for any color. That's beautiful. Wayfarer's Bauble, just by using it, it puts itself into the graveyard so we can make more Wayfarer's Baubles. Yeah, I went so deep as I'm using mana with Don't Tell Dana Roach. Dreamstone Hedron, same thing, card draw. 1 Power Stone. Armillary Sphere. Yeah, I know it puts the lands in your hand, but, Boros Locket, Soul Ring, Pilgrim's Eye, Boros Signet, Prismatic Lens, Key Rune, Mind Stone. Man, you want a couple copies of Burnished Heart? I do. Fire Diamond, Thran Dynamo, and Fractured Power Stone. We have started, every once in a while to my group, we'll do the plane chase thing. So I figured why not Fractured Power Stone? Haven't used it in a while. That is our ramp and our card draw. Typical red stuff, Faithless Looting, Wild Guess, Tormenting Voice, Thrill of Possibility. All of those are intentionally. I love the fact that you discard a card because we get to discard some artifacts. So maybe we don't have to cast our big mana Sandstone Oracle. We can just discard it, spend the 7 mana making 2 copies of it. That way, when both of those copies come into play, we choose different opponents. Yeah, it's pretty sweet, huh? Mirror Ball, because making a bunch of them is, yeah. Bottle Gnomes, yeah, I've got a soft spot, Scuttlemutt, Duplicate. Duplicate's yeah, good removal spell. Ruin Grinder, one of the new cards. Let's see if we can't focus this up a little bit because I'm not. There we go. Each player may discard their hand and draw 7 cards. It has mountain cycling, so that's a way to get it into the graveyard. Bosch, because let's just start chunking, that's one way to throw the artifacts at people. Maelstrom Colossus, Cascade, we're going, 2 for 1. Workshop Assistant, when it dies, you get another artifact back, so that may be something that we want to do. A Scuttling Doom Engine, 6 damage to target opponent or planeswalker when it dies. Brass's Bounty makes quite a few artifacts that we can sacrifice. Hold on, I'm in my miscellaneous pile here. Boros Charm is just an amazing card. Ritual of Restoration and Argivian Fine, of course, both in there. All That Glitters, because, you can draw All That Glitters and you just look around and go, oh, so I'm just going to give my commander plus a gajillion. Slightly exaggerated. Um, but Wake the Past. I didn't know this card existed. Um, it didn't exist before we, but I was like, wow, okay. Then we have our non-creature artifacts. Sun Titan, it's going to bring stuff back. Hello, Burnish Chart, and other things. Um, that Commander Sphere, that whatever. Uh, the Dig Site Engineer. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you may pay 2, and you get an artifact creature construct that gets what? +1/+1 for each artifact? That's insane. Isn't that what Urza's construct does? Wow. Jorkadine. Because, I mean, why not, right? Your whole team gets +3 as long as you control 3 or more artifacts? Check. And it's a 5-mana, 5/4 first strike. That's going to be an 8/4 first strike. And gives the team, yeah. Gadrak, getting those treasure tokens. Pia Nalar, she brings the Thopter with her. And then the Audacious Reshapers. Then we have our non-creature artifacts. Stuff that's, Ichor Wellspring. We draw a card, and then when we sacrifice it, we draw a card. We're going to make 2 copies, and when they come into play, we're going to draw a card. Yeah, it's really good. Norn's Annex. I'd like to have 2 copies of this. 2 copies of Mirrorworks is fun. I don't care who you are. That's fun right there. Infinitokens is a thing that we need for this deck. I'm going to try out this new Tempting Contract. Yeah, why not? The Spine of Isha, same thing, looping it back and forth. Yeah. Liquid Metal Coating. If we just, want to make something an artifact temporarily. Mindless Wellspring. Turmo's Crypt is just in there because it's a great card. And Vincer's Journal. So let's look at some removal, shall we? It is, okay, our 1 red removal spell. Red Elemental Blast. Because, blue. That's just blue. We have Sword to Plowshare, Disenchant, Dispeller's Capsule. But, I mean, it's good removal, but it's also an artifact in the graveyard, so we can make copies of it. So that was kind of neat. Dispatch. You got Metalcraft, it becomes really, really good. A Generous Gift, Phyrexian Rebirth, and Manatithe, because nobody ever expects it. If you've got blue mana up, people kind of expect it sometimes, but the amount of times that people tap out for that spell, or I just need 1 more mana to play my commander, and they draw the land, and they tap out, and they commander, and you go Manatithe, and you lose friends, and it's all good. Then we have our non-basic lands. We do have, I'm playing with Sundholm. Target creature gains double strike, sure, why not? Rogue's Passage. Everything else in here is pretty normal fare. The Great Furnace, Temple of the False God. I figured the high concentration of colorless spells in the deck make Temple of the False God an okay play here. But the rest of these, I mean, you're looking at Laurel Campus, Boros Garrison, Stone Quarry, Alpine Meadow, Windsguard Crag, Temple of Triumph, Boros Guildgate, Evolving Wilds, that fetch land, a Secluded Step, and Forgotten Cave rounded out. Seems like somebody got a chance to play this. I did not get to play it. Can't remember who played it, but It did get played because when I went to list it, it had to been played. But that is it for Osgir. So let's go put 713 on the wall. That one is done. Started another row, and that is where we were at. So, as I said, I appreciate everything. Y'all let me know what you think, and don't forget to like and subscribe down there. If you haven't subscribed, please do. You know, that way you get notifications. You can, what do they say? Ring the bell, because that way you get a notification whenever I post something, which I'm sure you've realized is daily now. Most of the time it's at 4 a.m. my time, because, you know, for years when I was in the professional world, that's when my day started. So that's why, if you were wondering why 4 a.m. But that's all I've got for right now. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle and cut.